Mandy Pullen is in charge here, and to make best use of the irrigation system, she's planted the rows of vegetables along the contours. With sheep grazing on the dam wall in winter, there's an additional runoff of nutrients as well. In this 1-acre field, Mandy and her helpers grow 150 different varieties of vegetables for sale in the local area. Much of the produce goes direct to the customers via a veggie box scheme. Now becoming popular all over the country, the box system enables people to buy fresh organic vegetables direct from the grower. Collection from a central pickup point neatly sidesteps the stranglehold which supermarkets have on food production. It also means that money is kept circulating in the local community rather than financing corporate foreign investment. There's no denying that this little market garden involves a lot of hard work, but it's terribly productive. And with the shortest possible route between producer and consumer, it means that the vegetables are sold in tip-top condition with minimal loss of nutrition. Together with easy irrigation, contour planting and the encouragement of predatory insects, chickens help ease the burden of work.
What we've got here is a low-tech chicken tractor. It's as simple as it looks. It's a mobile chicken cage, and it's built to fit exactly over the width of the vegetable bed, so that during the winter, Mandy can have this just trundling along the vegetable bed 1 metre a day. And as the chickens are in the house at night, they're manuring onto the ground, and then during the day they're let out into this cage here, where they're scratching all the wireworms and insects out of the soil, and also weeding and manuring during the day as well. And there's a little egg box around the back. So very simple design, and it's just incorporating chickens into vegetable growing.
Despite the opportunity for high productivity and increased employment, government subsidies for small-scale organic farming are pitiful. For less than 5 acres, there's no running subsidy. On this farm, diversity is crucial, and it pays to keep as many irons in the fire as possible. Blacksmith Mark Lumley has his forge in redundant farm outbuildings, which helps to enrich the local economy. Another aid to cash flow is charcoal production, which has environmental spin-offs as well.
Most of the charcoal we burn in England is imported from countries such as Papua New Guinea. They're rainforest countries, and often the wood that you get in charcoal is rainforest wood or mangrove swamps. This is British charcoal, and I think it accounts for about 3 to 5% of the charcoal market in Britain. And by making charcoal in Britain, not only are you stopping that rainforest destruction, but you're also helping to preserve the small English woodlands that are on many farms. A lot of these woodlands are unfenced, and the stock gets in and eats the new growth. By taking out a commercial crop like British charcoal, it then becomes worthwhile for landowners to fence that woodland off, and then you get the regrowth of the woodland. So British charcoal is really acting on 2 levels. It also means that for a landowner like myself, where you've got maybe 60 acres, it's an amazing extra income to the farm. We make about £3,000 or £4,000 a year from producing charcoal on the farm here, and that's often the difference between being profitable and not being profitable. It's a homemade kiln. It's built out of old water mains, but it produces extremely fine charcoal.
The main income from the farm comes from sales of beef, lamb and pork. Traditional breeds are used for their flavour and suitability to a low-input farming system. Such free-range animals reared in stress-free surroundings produce high-quality meat. Once again, personal contact with local markets is essential to maintain a viable turnover.
Apple. Yeah, pork and apple sausages, they're selling like hotcakes. Yep. Right, okay. Brilliant. That will be coming in this Thursday. Okay? Great. Cheerio then. Bye-bye.
both marketing and production need very careful planning to be successful.
With broad-scale permaculture, you have to have a strategy for dealing with large acreages of grassland. I've seen several sites where the stock are removed from the system and all that happens is chaos. Lots of thistles and docks and biomass. I think that having stock in a system where you can keep a reasonably good grass lay is a very good way of holding the landscape down. Grassland in pasture in England is part of our culture and it's part of our history. But we have Angus cows, mostly Angus cows, and we've chosen that breed because it's a low input, low output system. They're not fed on concentrates or soya or barley. We graze them during the summer, and during the winter they're fed silage, which we cut from the farm here. We sell our meat direct, so we have to concentrate on our local markets. And the way that this works is when a beast is ready to kill, we will ring up one of our customer organisers in Bristol, and she will ring round about 20 of her friends and get orders for meat from those friends. We will then kill that beast to order. It'll go to the local abattoir and then to the local butcher, who will butcher the carcass down. And then we pack the meat into the 20 different orders, put it in the van and deliver it straight into Bristol. And the customer organiser gets 10% cut for doing that work. This means that a rather middling Angus store, which would fetch probably about £450 to £500 at Gloucester Market, we can often take between £1,000 and £1,100 for the same animal, simply because we're cutting out the middleman and we're putting the work in ourselves to sell the meat direct. And this has extraordinary implications for land use in England, because we can make 3 or 4 times the profit out of one cow and therefore take the stocking pressure off the land. And it has implications for cattle welfare and for overgrazing as well. I think for small farms such as this, selling direct is really the only way forward, especially since consumers become more and more confused about issues such as BSE and cattle welfare systems. If we have customers who come onto the farm and can visit us here and understand the stock that we've got and talk to us direct, we can explain food scares such as BSE in more detail, and what we're finding is that our relationship with our customer becomes more and more robust as these food scares unfold.
In a permaculture system, fertility is not bought in a polythene sack. As far as possible, it must be produced on site by recycling animal and vegetable wastes. And with a bit of innovative design, it's possible to produce a surplus for sale.
No permaculture plot is complete without its obligatory patch of comfrey. This is Bocking 14 comfrey. It's a very high protein comfrey, and it sets seed, but the seed is sterile, so it doesn't spread. So you can plant it on your farm and you know that it won't take over.